Welcome to Smack Talk. I hope you're all doing well. I'm going to have a link down below in the description box to credit WWE for piecing this together. I'm going to try to make this very quick, and I'm going to explain at the end something again about the changes I want to make going forward. Actually, maybe I'll just say it right now. There are some segments like backstage, certain person runs into certain person and says, hey, good look out there, gives him a little fist bump. I don't know why I would ever talk about that. There's nothing exciting about that. I just literally want to talk about the highlights. Here's a big one. CM Punk starts off things on SmackDown with an in-ring promo about Drew McIntyre. He's very energetic. He's in Chicago. Paul Heyman came out, praises CM Punk. They hug. Heyman warns that he needs to leave because the bloodline is out for him because Solo Sikoa got pissed off when he heard on the radio, making his way to the arena, that this is CM Punk's town. And Solo's like, it's my city. So that sparked them coming out. And then what was really cool was Paul Heyman was like, when you leave, can you do me a favor? And CM Punk is like, what? He's like, take me with you? But then he ended up leaving with the bloodline, and Cody Rhodes came out with a couple of baseball bats to even out the odds. So that I want to talk about. And you could see all of that right here again. This was great. I enjoyed this segment very much. Bianca versus Chelsea versus Michin for the Money in the Bank qualifier. Naturally, on paper, in the ring, from what I saw, Bianca would be one of my top picks. However, I have to admit, from an entertainment perspective, Chelsea Green really does an incredible job. She really, really does. And she capitalized on the win. It was so smart. It was so smooth. And I can't say that I'm against it. So there you have it. Chelsea Green won that. She pulled that off. Now this, I'm going to talk about this backstage thing because this is kind of a big deal. So backstage, Solo was seen grilling Heyman. So you want to leave, hey, Punk? Such an awkward thing again. And he wanted Heyman to say something to the rest of the bloodline, but my sound would mute out. I think their microphones were muting out. I couldn't make out what was actually being said. This part, again, normally I would probably skip this, to be honest with you, where I write in my notes here, backstage, Grayson Waller chatting with Kayla Braxton, and DIY show up, and they blame Waller for Theory's injury and being at home recovering. From now on, those kinds of things, I'm just going to leave that shit out. However, something pretty big happened. Banging was heard against the garage door that was right behind them, and it was none other than Drew McIntyre, who had CM Punk already laid out. We don't see Drew McIntyre beating the shit out of CM Punk, but we see him in a bloody mess laid out. And then Nick Aldis pushed Drew out of the way. Drew turned around, pushed Nick Aldis. It was like a pretty big deal. And I think the reason they did that, the whole blind attack, is because if you think about it, right? CM Punk is legitimately still injured. His right arm, his right tricep, he's still recovering. So rather than showing you the theatrics, they're just like, here's some blood. He was already laid out. We assume he was beaten up. He probably didn't even lay a finger on him because it could risk messing up his injury. So this was a very smart move, and you could see here that he carried him out near the ring area. So this was kind of a big thing. I kind of figured this was going to happen. Everybody had a Nostradamus prediction that this was going to happen. I talked about everybody was right now. All of a sudden, his Twitter's back online. Right, the Tamatanga, Carmelo Hayes, and Randy Orton Money in the Bank qualifier match. It was a nice match. It was distractions from the bloodline. KO came out to help. But Carmelo managed to pull off the win again on Randy Orton, where they do that thing sometimes where they sneak up behind you, they roll you up, and they pin you. It's not a devastating move. How does anybody, oh my God, how can you not kick out of that? I don't know. I'm not saying he shouldn't have won. Nobody should ever win in that fashion. It's not a believable move. At least I don't think it is the way it was done. LA Knight. LA Nat came out for an in-ring promo on Logan Paul. Wants the U.S. title. Santos Escobar came out and he said, next week, it's you and me. And then Logan Paul from behind, as you can see, snuck out and attacked LA Knight. Waller versus Andrade versus Kevin Owens. KO attacked by the Bloodline in the beginning. Orton came out with a chair. The match continues. A great match, and Andrade won. And I'm actually really happy about that. I really, really enjoy Andrade. I was kind of hoping Waller wouldn't win. He already has the tag titles and all that kind of stuff. Kevin Owens would have been one of my favorites for sure. But like I said, I'm cool with Andrade. So this one again, sure, I'll mention it. So backstage, Kayla mentions that CM Punk will be staying in the hospital overnight for observations, right? And backstage, Solo tells Roman Reigns here, because this is a pretty big thing, that Roman Reigns is not coming back. And Paul Heyman was saying, look, man, I had told everybody that CM Punk is off limits, as he's like personal to Paul Heyman. They have a huge history, right? One of the longest reigns in the modern era of wrestling is held by CM Punk, 434 days. And Paul Heyman was his advocate, was his manager, right? So they have a real bond. And yeah, anyhow. It was kind of weird. I got confused with that statement because in the end, correct me if I'm wrong, the Bloodline didn't attack CM Punk. It was Drew McIntyre. Anyhow, there might have been another instance and I just can't remember it off the top of my head. And then Cody Rhodes versus Solo. Didn't take long for the Bloodline to come out. Randy Orton comes out with Kevin Owens. But Jacob Fatu came to lay everybody out. He is a new member of the Bloodline. I'm telling you, what I want to see in the future, it has to happen, and it's going to be such a huge pop. Roman Reigns, the Usos reunited, and maybe with Sami Zayn, and now they're all like face Bloodline versus heel Bloodline. And I'm sorry, it's not like, ooh, look at me, I'm so smart. I came up with all of that on my own. I mean, I did, but it's so obvious. I mean, everybody else is thinking it too, right? And I think that would be a massive, massive thing for SummerSlam. I mean, I don't know when SummerSlam's coming, in a couple of months, but there's some time to, you know, warm up the kettle. I don't even think that expression makes any sense. I know what I'm saying. So yeah, so for me, this whole, like, oh shit, somebody else. First it's Tama Tonga, then we got Tonga Loa, and then, you know, Jacob Fatu. And I'm just like, wow, we're really adding to that stuff. And, you know, the Jimmy Uso's been gone for a while. He got outed out of the Bloodline. I'm really excited to see where this is going to go. The whole Bloodline thing on SmackDown, the whole Wyatt 6 on Raw. Oh man, I'm really like, wow, I'm almost lost for words. Almost. You wish I was lost for words, because then these videos would be even shorter. So it still ended up, it's under 10 minutes. Sometimes these videos are 15, 16, 20 minutes long. Yeah, so if there's something really insignificant, like Jade Cargill says, girl, you go get, you know, your woman, or just says like a really quick cut. I'm going to start. So Jade Cargill said to Bianca, you go, girl, you go get her. That something happened and Nia Jax lay her out after, and, you know, Jade Cargill suplexed Nia Jax 5 times backstage. Okay, then I'll mention it, right? Because that's a highlight to talk about. So in case you've been following me for a while, and you're noticing, hey, he didn't mention this little thing or that little thing, it's me trying to condense my shit even more. Because chances are, like I said, you watch my videos. For the few people that do, I don't blame you. Why, there's only a few. You've probably already watched a match, although there are a few people, like I've said before, that I very much appreciate that watch all my videos. They don't watch WWE. They don't have time. They're like, I don't have 3 hours. I'll watch this dude for 15 or 20 minutes ramble off about, that stuff. And I don't think they're going to mind me excluding Jade Cargill wishing Bianca Belair the best of luck in her match when there's literally nothing else that happened, right? So there you have it. Thumbs up as always if you liked the video. It does greatly help support that channel with the algorithm and trying to make me more relevant in the search results when people are looking shit up online. If you didn't like the video, you know it's coming. It's original. I keep repeating the same shit every week, but it's my own. Give it a thumbs down. I'll bend it in half, twist it, and I'll break off a solo Sakoan spike in your ass. With your thumb. Still can't believe somebody's like, bruh, why would you want to put a thumb in my... Whoa! It's your thumb. You're giving it a thumbs down. I'm taking... Okay? Solo Sakoan spike. You heard me. It's not Solo Sikoa. Sikoa is a Samoan. Sakoan. The rectum Sakoan spike. Disgusting, but you can avoid all that if you do the right thing. And if you want to subscribe to the channel after all those disgusting things I just said, naturally that would be fantastic. But if not, trust me, I get it. Thanks for stopping by anyways. Take care, and maybe I'll see some of you in the next one if I'm lucky. Bye for now.